gentlemen. Hello, hello. Mag Gamer here presenting the Movement Podcast. What is this? We are going to be hosting these more often. We, as in me. But basically, you're going to be getting spoken word, truth, life, experience, lack thereof, knowledge, and various things. But most of all, you're just going to get an open heart and hopefully a deeper look into our capabilities as human beings, as somebody who likes to step outside of themselves and search deeper within us as a whole. So today, I wanted to talk about dreams. A lot of us have always had dreams. We've always had goals. We've always felt um, like if there was some kind of purpose. And some of us don't know what our purpose is, and that's okay too. So I want to address some of these topics in an open, broad sense for people to evaluate their dreams and their goals. Sometimes they get lost in translation with our normal everyday life. So I'll address that, but then I'll also address the realities of how to live your dreams. And while I don't know what it's like to dream of being a millionaire, I do understand the drive behind it. I'm a different type of dreamer. I'm a realistic dreamer. I like to accomplish small dreams and goals that I set for myself, and they keep getting bigger as I move forward. And we'll get into my side of things in a minute, but overall I want you to take a step and look into what I would call your childhood dreams. You didn't have to be a child. You could have been a teenager, maybe early 20s or something, and you had these ideas of what you wanted to do. As you look at that, you have to take into consideration that possibly you still have those dreams inside of you. Whether you're like, oh, I was just a childish kid who wanted to be a painter or a ballerina or a musician. And the reality is that sometimes it's extremely hard to live dreams as you get older because reality strikes. You're looking for a career, you're looking for um, love, and you get married, have kids. Now that's your responsibility, and you can't back down. So there's tons of things that gets in our way, and the older we get, the more I wouldn't want to say cynical, but so-called realistic we get about life. It's like, oh, that's just a pipe dream. Why would you even bother with that? Oh, you'll never own a restaurant or something like that. So we'll settle our whole life with, oh, I get my job, I come home, and I'm good. And while this is the reality of most people, they'll settle for certain jobs or certain things, and this is the best I can do right now. There's nothing wrong with that also, but knowing how to live a dream within that is where it's important. So this is where, for me, I have the realistic dreamer style where I have these things I would love to do. So many of them, so many, too many to name. I'm like a 5-year-old in my brain when it comes to things I would like to do. When it comes to actual accomplishments and goals and things like that. But that doesn't take away from me consistently chipping away at some of those on my list. And I'm not talking about skydiving or going to the Grand Canyon or any little you know things you can do that are tangible. I'm talking about things, growing up, I loved music, and that was the first thing I ever did to live my dreams. It was music. So as a kid, literally in 6th grade, I wrote a song and performed it in front of my whole school. And it was actually a love song, a really powerful love song. Till this day, I think that song is just as good as any song out in the world. And the reason why is because I put in everything I've ever heard in my whole existence. I listened to song after song and wrote down some of the words from those songs and collaborated all of this context that I couldn't even comprehend at the time because I still was a young boy in 6th grade. But all of that context that I put together through all these love songs and all these amazing artists that's been around for years, I took all of their influences and their words and their sayings and a small sentence, watching the sunrise. I took that and I took something else out of another, and I created a beautiful thing about my personal view of love. And it was called Destiny. And the song was pretty awesome. Maybe one day I'll perform it or throw it on one of these podcasts. But the fact is that that song, I performed it in front of the big audience, staring at the floor half of the time. I was pretty shy, but I love being on stage, and it was a great feeling. And from there, I started writing songs. From there, I started what they call rap battle. For those that don't know that term, I would go against other artists and see who was better every day, and then write a bunch of songs. And I started to have a dream. I didn't know I was creating a dream for myself, but as I did all this for fun, just enjoying it and teaching my friends how to write songs and how to make it sound good, and we just were hanging out. And little did I know, I started to create dreams for myself because of that passion. And the key part in all of that was that I just tried. I tried to make a song, and it was called Destiny. And it's still, to this day, I've actually listened to it recently, and it is still a pretty good song lyrically. Of course, the music is very old, but lyrically, the words were very powerful. And I explained this message because it wasn't about the song. If the song sucked, that's fine. It's about the effort that I put in to doing something I was passionate about. Now, yesterday in my beta podcast, I spoke about, well, what is freedom? Freedom is no fear, right? So the reason why I'm bringing that back up is because we live in a fearful mentality and fearful front where we tend to stop doing what we want to do. We get discouraged, etc., etc. All the different reasons, and fear is a big factor in all of this. So if we can control these things and get to a better place, it would help us tremendously. Now, the reason I say that is because, for example, I'm in 6th grade. What I got to do with a song? I wasn't ambitious to do anything with music. I just wanted to write a song. They're like, "Oh, you're gonna do a talent show? What you want to do?" I was like, "I want to do a music." With no one guiding me, I just wrote a song, and I went for it. And what turned out from writing that song was a young career performing with big artists opening up for these guys, traveling USA, doing a show for these guys. It was a experience to say the least. I couldn't imagine at sixth grade when I heard my first song. I couldn't imagine that I would be out in the world traveling to make music, getting paid $4,000, $7,000 for music. I couldn't imagine that would be anything. So it wasn't even a dream yet. I didn't have that dream. And all of these proposals came to me. Now, I've never signed a deal, even though I was offered some later on. But in my early stage, I didn't sign a deal. So what happened was, like I explained, at 6 years old, I wrote a song. At sixth grade, I wrote a song. Then from there, I started writing music. Then I started performing it at a community center like the Boys and Girls Club, just hanging out there. And then any talent show I would go to, any open mic I would go to, any karaoke I would go to, and just perform my music because I loved it. I had fun doing it. And people came around and embraced me. They just believed in me, and they had faith in my music, and they boosted my confidence by believing and enjoying what I did for fun, randomly, just because, not because I had a dream to do it. Then, as like I explained, as I went on, the dream started developing because of the small things I started to do, kept lifting me up and making me believe that I can achieve more. So I did it and I did it and I did it over and over. And I've got offers for record deals from Island Records, which was a big label. And that was a really cool blessing. But at the time, like I explained, it wasn't a big dream for me. And I felt like having my own studio was enough. I can create my own music and live my life. So I denied the record deal that was offering some really good money, but it wasn't a dream yet. As years went by, I'm like, maybe I should have took that deal, because then that became an ambition and that became a dream to say, you know what, maybe I should have done a record deal. So again, all it took for me was putting in the effort. And the effort was simple. I didn't create the greatest music. To me, it was real and it was true to me, and I was opening my heart and my mind, expressing whatever I was feeling. I did a lot of party songs and enjoy yourself songs. I did a lot of boasting in some songs, and I did a lot of just straight up hardcore, you know, music. Also did some love songs and things like that. So I did all of that, but it wasn't about the music. It was about just being real to myself and doing what I love and what I appreciated, and I had fun with it. And then I went on tour and I hit 40 plus states. Yes, I counted. We had tour for up in Northeast. We had tours down south. And all these tours gave me the opportunity to meet a lot of great people, and made me realize, hey man, you have the passion. That's all that you needed, and you got to use it and do something with it and go for it. And that was where that was the breaking point as my childhood, and I'm talking teenager years, early 20s, if that, mostly teenagers, and then early 20s also. I built all this and experienced all that at an early age, and it was like, wow, life is pretty dope to be able to be inspired and inspire through my music, and touch people's lives, and people thank me, for their music and what it's done for them. And autographs are just weird. I don't know. I'll sign them, but I just always felt weird about that. Honored, but at the same time, it's like, look, you shouldn't be praising me. And the reason I say that is because I personally feel and believe everybody's dreams is different. You don't have to be a superstar or a millionaire as long as you're living happy and you're following your dreams and your goals. And there's nothing more important than that, you know? So it's really all about finding that true happiness and blessing within yourself. So now, what does that mean? Where does that go? I'll give an example. I slowed down with my music, and I don't have a studio no more. I have a little home equipment so I can mess around, and I'll still make music here and there, but it's not what it used to be when it comes to really putting out music every day. But as you guys can tell, and the stream is very clear to that, I'm doing gaming. And the reason why I labeled this whole thing Live Your Dreams is because just like the music, I did not have these aspirations for video games. I was a musician first and a writer second. Well, more of a writer first and then a musician second. They both go together. So, I'm a writer, musician who played video games on his free time and always had good ideas of how to present a game and what a good idea can be. You know, we all do. We all have good ideas. Now, it's about putting it together and making it happen. How do we do that? That's another conversation. But the point of what I'm trying to explain is I've never had the dream to be a video game designer or a website owner for video games, to go to E3 and do all this stuff that I'm doing. It wasn't an aspiration or a goal or something that was like, I wish I could do that. It's all coming together in one rotation, and I'm flowing with it, creating these dreams as I go forward, living out other people's dreams because I have the opportunity, and I'm pushing forward for it as I go. So now the gaming thing took place because I've been a Metal Gear fan, and I wrote a bunch of stuff just for fun. I write because I'm writing a book. I'm working on scripts for movies and TV shows. I just do that. Something I love to do. And so I wrote a lot of Metal Gear stuff. Got a little recognition. 2015, they really put me out to the public, and it was to the point where I got invited to a review event, and ever since then, I took that small opportunity and created everything I'm doing now. We got a documentary that's coming out. The website's going great. There's a lot of progress going on, and I have a very small team behind me, literally less than 5 people who are my backbone, helping me out. Pretty much one guy, I don't want to say his real name, but Golden Visions, who, well, I don't know, Enlightened Visions, I don't know which way we want to call him, but he's basically, I'm gonna have to try to put these names up on this podcast visual, but basically he does video editing, graphics. He can be a writer, he can be my senior editor, and all of this for my site. Then there's a couple other writers. That's pretty much it on my site. Then I have a guy who helps with graphics when he can. Maybe another person here or there for a couple of things. And that site, it's up, and we're doing reviews, interviews, and various aspects, getting into the industry our first year. And we're doing a lot more than people have been doing, spending 10 years of their life on a website, and they haven't gotten very far. Now, I don't say this to boast. I'm actually trying to expose myself and tell people about how I did it and the steps I took to get there, and the things that are important, you know, as far as how you can do it. You know, these guys with smaller sites. My site isn't big. I don't get a lot of traffic, you know, billions of people or even millions of people. At one time or another, there's 4,000, 5,000 or something of views or something. But I don't try hard, and I don't pay for that traffic. I network, and that's how I build everything. And today, talking about living your dreams, I'm going to share that story about the site just a little bit, and I want people to look at it as a guide on what to do for yourself and how to evolve yourself. Now, the key again is what I said earlier about my music, how I started, I just did it. So that's the key. You just got to do it. Whatever it is you want to do and whatever your focus and goal is, don't be sitting here thinking with all these great I got a lot of ideas. Oh man, everybody has an idea. It's about the people who put the idea into action and take the chances. And guess what? You might look foolish like I do with a Patreon that doesn't get any money right now. That is true. I'm okay with that. I'm not worried about that aspect. I did create a Patreon hoping yes we can get that support, not from me because my site is up. I already paid for the year. Well, I paid for 2 years. Um my site is going to always be up, and my editors, they're working their butt off doing their job and doing what they love without me forcing them to do anything. So it's a natural flow that we have a small team, but a system that's realistic and open and real. Now that said, it's really about the efforts. So what do I got to do? How did I get there? Right. Well, build relationships. Right. And how do you do that? I'm on Twitter most of the time, but I could have been on Facebook and Instagram and all of these social media outlets, right? Or I can go directly to their official sites, get the email. Now I'm contacting these people, letting them know my ambitions, letting them know my passions, just saying, hey, this is what I'm doing. I can't say this is what I want to do. So doesn't everybody else. Everybody wants to be a millionaire, famous, world renowned, winner of a Nobel Prize, and they're like the messiah of the world. Everybody wants to be this whatever. Nobody cares about what you want to be. We care about what you are, and what you are is putting in an effort. Is what you should be doing every day. Doing something. I don't care if you don't have a PC that can edit videos. If you have a PlayStation, you can use the PlayStation Factory, Share Factory to edit a video and make an awesome video that looks better than some people who have PCs. I've seen many of them, and a lot of guys make better videos than me. Uh, Basically, everybody does better videos than me, but that's a different conversation. The moral of it is my videos are done by my editing team. That they're amazing guys. Like Visions, he's my backbone. But that's a different conversation again. What I'm trying to talk about is that effort. So Vision goes and edits the video. Now I have some proof of what I'm trying to do. It doesn't have to be the greatest video. I don't have to have 10 million views for the companies to respect me. And that's the thing, is people undermine who I am because I don't have the following of these superstars where they have millions of viewers, and that's okay. But guess what? I got the respect of the industry. People around the industry respect me, and they know of me, and they've heard of me. Yeah, I heard of you. I seen what. So I fight for mines every day. A perfect example, we did this documentary, and there were some people who kind of, well, not kind of, 100% brushed me off on an email when I asked to get them on film. And then I see them at E3, and they, oh yeah, they're remembering, they know who I am, and they shake my, hey, you're magnetic, oh da da da, and I'm like, yeah, who are you? Like, oh, we emailed each other, and they'll tell me, oh yeah, we emailed each other, sorry about that. They'll apologize for brushing me off on an email, but they would know who I am, while I wouldn't have a clue who they were visually because I just emailed them. So that shows the recognition that I got for my efforts. So now this is my first year really going hard into trying to do this documentary and things like that. Imagine 3 years down the line, if I keep up the effort, if I keep being hungry and humble and putting in the effort, now I'm making a bigger name. Awareness. So now the reason I'm bringing that up is because these industry folks, managers, developers, publishers, PR reps, you name the people, I'm making sure they see my face, they know my face, they know what I'm trying to do, they know my efforts. No, I don't have the greatest website that's like the fastest. I can admit that off the top. I have to work on my speed. It's a little slow compared to other sites that load up milliseconds, not long 10-second waits, but milliseconds faster. It's like, I want to compete with them. If I really want to make my site the top site, I have to compete with them. I have to do what I have to do to compete with these guys. And that takes effort. But the honesty is there about what I'm trying to do, and people see it and they're looking at me and they're saying, wow, okay, he's doing things. So now I reach out on Twitter, hey man, what's up, look, that game looks good today. For example, I wish I could screenshot this, which I don't like putting out private conversations, but there's this game, and first of all, nobody pays me. No video game company pays me, so don't get that twisted. But there's this game called Past Cure, PASTCURE. I just talked to them about 20 minutes ago, right before I started my stream, and I haven't looked into them at all because I'm so busy just trying to get this information out to you guys. But it's a video game. It's an action stealth game, third-person action stealth, which pretty much sums up Metal Gear. But I bumped into them because of PlayStation Lifestyle. They're really cool people. They always show me support. So, boom, I seen a clip and I said, wow, this game actually looks good, and it's my style of gaming, stealth, some action. Interested. So then I follow them and I tweet them, hey, hit me up, let's talk. They hit me right up, and the first words that they said, I'm gonna read it. Oh wow, I'm gonna read it on my PC here. Hi, we should contact you. And they have a really funny smiley face with sunglasses. So it was a decent thing. And then from there, I just expressed to them that this game looks really good. Kind of reminds me of Quantic Dream Studio style format with some other stealthy play. And I'm interested in doing a review, checking the game out, blah blah blah. We went back and forth. I'm gonna get a review copy of that game for me. Not because I want it for my site. I want it for me. Because I love Metal Gear and I love any game that has stealth in it. Interested to see what they're doing. But this game is actually very interesting. And it's an indie game. But, again, putting in my effort. So now I got effort back. So the energy you put out, they say you get back. They call that karma. And it's a realistic thing. Michael Jordan said, put in the work, you'll see the results. He said something like that. But everybody says that. I'm sure he wasn't the first to say it. But the point is exactly what he said there is exactly what I'm trying to preach. And the message is, you want to live your dreams. It's not complicated, man. Just start doing things. Oh, but for example, I have the most expensive movie in the world. I have a script that I wrote when I was younger. Literally, I was like 19 years old, and I spent a month every day, one whole month, writing this. I didn't work, I didn't go out, I stood and I wrote this script. This movie script is so expensive as far as budgets and everything I've imagined for it that it's like, I'm probably never gonna do this film. But guess what? I did a film just about 2 weeks ago for E3, and the film is pretty much my first film, official film, not just like something small, YouTube videos and music videos I've done and things like that. No, this is a film. It's gonna be an awesome film, and I got these great guys who are a part of that movement. And the reason why I'm bringing that up is because think about it. Think about it. I did my first film. So now what does that mean? One day, if things get better and evolve to the place that they need to be, then guess what's going to happen for me? I'm going to 120% get my movie done, the crazy expensive one day. If money comes in and starts rolling and things start happening, and there you go. I get to live a dream. So anyway, so that's what you do. You take the steps, whatever it is, baby steps. Start off with something. We started off with a film documentary. Now I hadn't have an aspiration to be like, oh, I wish I was a film director. I wrote these things because I'm a writer. I would wake up every day, for example. I stopped doing this a lot, but I used to do it every day. Wake up and spend an hour a day writing, creative writing. It didn't have to be about a topic or to have to be a script. It can be just thoughts, feelings. It can be a song or a script for something. Could have been anything. The point was to write and to build that habit. And I did build the habit, and it was a great habit to keep and to hold. Now, the problem with that is you're building all these dreams, because now I got movie scripts, TV shows, I got the book or multiple books, but things that I just have there sitting around that I can work on later and make something of it. So it takes time and effort, but any one of these things, can be something and do something. And I have to put in the time and the effort for them. And like I said, I have so many other things that I do or want to do that I focus on. And we gotta be real, with ourselves and with what's happening. Like I said, oh, he's just talking like if everything is possible and everything can happen, and it's not true. My life, and I'm going through this situation that I'm facing. I have a struggle with my health, for example. So I don't think I can ever do any of the dreams I want. And that's a lie, because there's people who fight through all of these adversities to do what they want. And what's amazing about it is that there's people in the world who want you to live your dream. There's people out there that are happy, like me, for example. I'm just on the same level as everybody, just chipping away at these things that I want to do and doing them as I go along slowly. But what's really amazing is that I always meet somebody who sees me dreaming and says, hey man, hey, let's go. Let's make this a reality. Let's go forward. And a perfect example is the documentary. I am not a cinematographer. I don't own a cinematographer, you know, film crew or anything like that. So I decided I wanted to do the E3 documentary, and I'm like, I'm gonna do that no matter what. It's gonna happen. I didn't have anybody to do the films with me. I didn't have anybody to be my backbone for that. I went online on Twitter and I wrote, hey, any film photographers, professionals who would like to work for me at E3 filming a documentary. That was the question I posed. Now, with this question came a tweet from a gentleman who I didn't remember too much, but I did meet him vaguely at PAX East as I did some charity work for Operation Supply Drop, and he was a supply drop cameraman for them. And I wasn't really paying him no mind. I was in my world, but we were there. And he messages me, and we're talking, and he has a film crew. His name is Dan Simmons, and the moral behind him is that hey man, I would love to do this. What exactly is going on? So I explain it to him. I say, listen, and I'm very realistic, and I say, hey, look, I don't have this almighty $1 million to get offer you. I don't have the plan set up perfectly for this and that. We don't have our own station to do interviews. We're gonna be running around a lot. It's gonna be a lot of work, and it's not easy. You know what I'm planning to run around interviewing people at E3, especially with all the madness, thousands of people. So he happily was so enthusiastic, more so than I could ever imagine. And I felt so blessed to find a person with that passion. Now, I was going to give my editing team the film. I was going to have them control it and do the editing. I was just going to have a cameraman capture it and then my team edit. But when I seen this guy's passion and I seen his drive, I explained to him, I said, listen, we're going to get a second cameraman, and so you can be comfortable and have a teammate, and then also you can have a travel buddy and everything, and let's make this happen. And he more than happily accepted all of the conditions, and we went at it hardcore. We hardly slept every day, hardly ate. We would literally spend all of E3 running around to make this film, to capture, just to capture it, never mind the editing that's going to take place, that is taking place right now. So all this happened, and I grew so much respect for this human being, showing his determination and his professionalism and his passion for the project. You know, I asked him, you know, you own this project, man. Like, I know I wanted my crew to do it, and you know, madgamer.com specifically, and you were just gonna film it, but you deserve this as yours as well. We're gonna work together. So we came to an understanding, an agreement about that, and he was excited and, you know, honored to do it, and I was honored that he was honored. So the story there, you know, and I grew a bond with him that I admire this guy for the rest of my life, even if I never see him again and we never talk. Um, just admire him for his passion. So he was living a dream. Little did I know it was his first E3. Little did I know it's basically going to be his first real film. He's done a lot of great work for other people, but this is going to be his own project. I'm trying to make sure of that. And he brought along a gentleman named Gary Minnie, and Gary Minnie also is his first E3, and Gary Minnie was very expressive, being grateful to be able to go to E3 and experience it. And while it wasn't all play, we really worked all day, every day for the 3 days. Even when we got home, I might have had them do something here and there. But in the end of the day, you know, we fought through it, lived our dream, made this documentary, and now we're editing it, trying to get through that. So this is the way it goes. And you know, they're just, you know, that's just somebody you hired or whatever, and how you want to look at it, it's your choice. But the moral of it is me never doing a film, not having an official film crew, and then hiring these guys who have the passion beyond belief and are so humble, and it humbles me. So, you know, I got to really be inspired by them and what they are fighting through. You know, they came all the way from Ohio just for the E3 event. All right, give me 1 second. Drink some water. Anyway, the moral of that story, I'm being long-winded on that subject, is that dream is opening doors for me to do film consistently. You know, as a director, producer, writer, that is awesome. And I've written a bunch of stuff, and I want to put them to use now. And that's where, in time, it'll all come into fruition. So, living these little small dreams. And the reason I keep bringing that up is because there's things you can do every day to do that. It doesn't have to be about gaming. It really wasn't about gaming. I didn't grow up thinking I want to be a game designer or anything. I always wanted to write and create music. Those are my passions. But all of these different things came together, and here I am making gaming the ultimate focus in my life. And I'm blessed and inspired by those around me who believe in me and put their faith and trust in me, in the things I do. And that's a dream in its own, just people believing in you. So, with my small team, and people want to get on board, and I don't ignore them, but I explain to them, my website is meant to be a focused site with passionate people who are being real about their opinions. I don't want to stir one person one way or the other, or I'd be like, oh, you got to write a review on this game. No, you don't. Write a review on the game you want to. For example, if I have a game and I'm like, hey guys, you want to review? Who wants to review this? And if nobody wants to do it, I'll just find somebody who's passionate for that game. I don't want someone reviewing a game like football. If you don't like football, why review a football game? So, these corporations do that type of stuff. And since I'm independent and I have nobody above me, I would not allow the people working with me to get into you gotta review this now. And no, because let's just do what we're passionate about. And then now, I'm at a turning point where I want my team to get empowered and to do more for themselves. And like I said, they want to build their brand. My brand is my brand already built, but this is their brand also, but they have to build their individuality within it. And I want to start putting things together for them to get them up there, because that's a dream that's been developing in my mind and heart, inspired so that I can see them grow. And I want to see them evolve. And lately it's been deeper and deeper. The more I get involved in doing what I'm doing, it's nothing more amazing than to see my group and my crew evolve. So that's the goal, and that's what I'm doing, and that's where I'm headed in my life and time. So that's a new goal, you know. But anyway, so where do we go from there? So my dreams, my goals. You keep talking about me, but what about you? Where do you change your dreams and goals? How do you stop that? How do you get back to the right place? You know. And it's a complicated. Apologies for that mic drop. Um, wow. I gotta pay attention to my board here. I'm not sure exactly where we cut off, but I was speaking about some of these dreams and what are the focuses and what are the goals and what are your goals. And then I try to talk about how your dreams sometimes change, but you can always live your dream. Then I try to explain that while you're worrying about the big dreams, there are so many small dreams in your home, like cleaning your bathroom. The reason why that is a dream. How is that a dream? Well, I dream that I get in the tub and my bathtub is beautifully sparkly, looking clean, or my toilet is lovely, or my um, sink. Right? Why is that important? Because I want to be comfortable and I want to enjoy these small privileges that we take for granted, right? But it's like, oh no, I gotta go scrub the toilet. Oh man, I don't want to do that, and nobody's like overjoyed about that. But it's a part of wanting to have a comfortable place to be in, and that is what dreams are made of: is making yourself uncomfortable, taking a chance, or doing something, just doing it. That way you can be able to live that dream. And for example, I was trying to make a point about when you're laying in bed, when you're trying to go to bed, but let's say your girlfriend tries on 17 outfits because you guys went to dinner. Now you can't go to bed because there's 17 outfits, well, 16 outfits on your bed. It's a mess. So now you can't fall asleep, which means you won't have a dream, which literally, if we keep on going with my subject, your dream is to dream. And now you can't do it because of all the clothing that's in your way. And it's a small manual chore on your day-to-day life. The small manual things that you can do that can make the big difference so that you can live your dreams. And I think that message right there, if I want to wrap it all up again, I just want to go to lay down and go to bed so I can dream. Right? That's my dream today. But I have to clean and take off all of the clothing that's on my bed so that I can do so. Right? So how do I do that? What do I do? Well, it's simple. Just let me get uncomfortable for a minute. Oh man, let me get up and grab all this clothing and put it all away and just work through it, because then if I do so, I can finally live my dream, which is to lay down and have a dream. So that analogy there is it's a basic one that's like, really, dude. But the point of it is the work ethic and creating a habit of trying to do things. You're building yourself as you do these things. And for example, my website, as I'm talking now, people are like, this guy thinks he's a hot shot, or who is this guy? And it's like, no, I'm not. And I'm not gonna also humble myself and be like, I'm a nobody. I'm everybody. I'm you. I'm the mailman. I'm the corner store gas guy. I'm the superstar football player. I'm all of these people in one. I'm just a human being. Don't put me into this category. And why is he talking about his dreams? He's not a millionaire. Millionaire don't make it like it. Don't mean you're living a dream. I've never had a dream of being a millionaire. Have I dreamed about having money? Yes, but a specific number, like, I need $1 million right now. Not really. Maybe if I had a bill and I'm like, $50,000, I need $50,000. But the point behind that is that you can live your dreams, as I have lived many. And I share the stories because I just put in the effort, and it's not complicated. My website's not some magical site that's like, I should say it is though, make an infomercial right now, but My website's not some magical, oh, this is the greatest thing. You know what? We're a unique site. We only write about what we feel, what we enjoy, what we want. And I got a very tiny team, so don't expect a news report every hour. You know, if you go to any of these news channels and sites, they have something every hour. And we don't do that type of stuff at the moment. I have a small team of people I trust and respect. From there, we'll see what happens next. But that team is an honor to work with, and I'm living my dream, and that I didn't knew I have, to open up a website. And the reason I bring that up is because the website is doing many things. You know, we're getting these games, reviewing these games, getting us a free copy here and there. I haven't even bothered to really push to get free copies, but here and there, hey, let's get a free copy. We'll review your game, and it's so much fun, and it's a privilege and an honor, and it's something I didn't ever think of. That I was like, oh, I can't wait to be reviewing games or having a team. Never in my life. Even when I die, I'm not gonna want to think about that. But this is what I'm doing, and I'm enjoying it. There's a lot of great aspects to it. I learned how to build a website in like a month. In 30 days, we built my website, and then I've been building on top of it. We built the core of the website. I really work hard at that. Somebody who didn't know how to do anything with websites learned it within 30 days, and then been building it up to what it is now on my own, pretty much. And it was so difficult, and I really didn't want to learn how to build websites. But guess what? I didn't have anybody to hold my hand and babysit me through it. And I just fought through it and learned some things. And the point of that is I never imagined that. I've always had a website, but I had a music store where people can go and buy my songs. That was it. That was all I ever had for a very long time. I've had my music site, and I might have posted up a project or two for my workshop and lectures that I did for kids in high schools, but that's as far as it went. Now, the reason I'm bringing that up is because, again, you know, this goal and this dream that I'm living isn't my own. It's a dream that just came up, and I'm like, this is pretty cool. Let's do this. I love video games anyways. I'm already in the business, in the industry. And then for the past couple of years, I've been doing a lot of gaming stuff. So I said, let's go for it. Let's make some moves. And now this year on February, I opened up the site. We're like 4 months in, 5 months in. We're almost in. Yeah, so February 13th was the official date, and we're in June. So yeah, so we're 4 months in my count. But that has been an amazing journey in these 4.5, 5 months. You know, in January we started building the site. February we opened the site, and my tiny team and me working together, trying to make the best of it. Nothing is promised, but we've been doing our thing, and I got all these different opportunities that I've built some already. Literally, I've had these projects and these relationships with most of the people I've had, but now we have a respect on our name, you know, and we're doing a little bit more than average. And we got a documentary that I decided to try to make. Then we're getting these interviews on the site, and we're doing all these different things slowly. In 4 months, 5 months, we're building the brand, the reputation, and most of all, to me, what matters is the relationships with these developers that I'm growing, appreciating them, and in the future, you know, you never know what can happen. I'll be making my game someday, and I might hire these people I'm privileged to have support me, and because I've been working with them on the backside, on the other side. So imagine if I get funded for a big video game, because my game is huge. I will hire all these people, and bribe them. Listen, quit your job, come on over to me, because I don't know if that's, illegal right now, but hopefully it isn't. But I'm gonna do that because I've met some people that I can respect on a human level, that I would love to work with, and these are just small dreams that could happen. But again, it all starts somewhere, and you got to just take the steps. So I'm looking at it like, wow, we did the site, we got this, we got the film, we got all these avenues, and then when I create my game, all these avenues will be used. I've learned the ins and outs of the industry, you know. So that's the plan, and that's where we looking to make the best of the situation. That said, I spoke a lot today about this, and overall, what I want to pinpoint is, you living your dream isn't impossible. Go out there and just do some things. Ask for help. Go online and ask for help from random people. People will help. Maybe you need graphics, right? And there's this kid who's 19 years old and his family's rich, but he doesn't have any purpose, and he likes graphic designing, but he hasn't done any real work, just messing around in his house. Maybe you tweet it and he searches for tweets that say graphic designers needed, and he's like, hey, what do you need? I'll help. And he helps you out with some project. And in reality, he's just practicing his craft because he's not that great yet. But you let him do your work for you. As he improves, he's inspired to get better, and he's inspired by all the stuff you keep offering him. And I say this to you guys as a story of people I work with who are mastering their crafts, and their resumes resonate with me because I'm like, wow, you guys have been doing really great. There's this graphic designer who's in the other side of the world who just said, hey, I want to help, anything I can do. And I'm like, yeah, I'll let you know. And I really didn't bother with him until one day I needed an emergency, and I'm like, hey man, you want to do something for me? He did it, and ever since then he does stuff for me consistently, and he's one of the most reliable people who was a rookie that I didn't look at in value. So I'm breaking his dream by not valuing him. But once I did value him, he realized, this is a good chance. So now he's been improving in his craft, helping me out, building his resume. And, there'll come a point where I'm going to offer to build his site, since I learned how to build sites, and build his brand for him. You follow me? So we have to get to that point. And it takes just putting in the effort and trying to reach. It's definitely possible. But yes. So I'm more than happy to be true to all of this and say, it's difficult and it gets hard. You don't even want to believe. Alrighty, I'm back. I don't know what is going on with my mic. It turns on and off, and I know what it is actually. I put the settings to mute the mic when I press a button, and I forget that button I use often. Anyway, I was closing this out. I'm looking at the chat now. What's up, baby Joker? I'm not sure if you're still there. Thank you for coming by. As I was trying to say, I need to have a warning for people because I want to do the podcast probably at 1 hour, and then after do questions and comments and talk. So I got to figure out a format that I can do that without alienating viewers for a little while. Shout out to Visions, bro. Much love. As soon as I get home, I'm gonna start on the edit. Dope, dope, dope. Visions is the guy. Wow. Watch what you say online. Visions is the guy. My mic cut out? Yeah, I know. Visions is the guy who I was talking about earlier. I had to be careful. I don't even remember what I said specifically. I know it was kind of nice, I think. No, I give him some credit, I hope. And, he does a lot of work doing some editing for videos and being an editor on the site, and little things like that, doing a review or writing an article. So he has a lot of meaning and purpose in my site and in my life with this dream and goal and purpose. And he inspires me because of what he is as a human, and then also what he does for the site. It's highly commendable. But he's here now, so I can't talk nice about him because then it feels fake. You know what I mean? No, but in the end of the day, these things we do, we're just trying to prosper. And I've been lucky enough to do enough moves to really feel blessed about what I'm doing and just enjoying it. And I think that's the key, is like, are you enjoying it? All these different avenues that you're opening up, are you really enjoying it? That's what I want to know. So yeah, so the questions remains for viewers is, what is your dream? What are your goals? What are you really trying to do? That's what I want to know. And I ask it because I think sometimes we get lost in our so-called what is or what isn't. And it shouldn't be that way. I think in general, life is too short to not appreciate those aspects. Always appreciate. Alright, so now I'm done. I want to talk about, oh damn, I'm gonna get a copyright for this commercial that came up. I want to just leave it open for the chat if they got anything to say. Oh man. So as we do always, last night we talked about a girl almost committing suicide. And the gentleman that was viewing the stream said how he hugged her. He didn't know she was going to go through anything. He was just hugged her as a friend. She went home, and then years later, she told him, that day I wanted to commit suicide, and your hug really helped me. And it was a pretty dope story he shared about somebody he helped change. And the reason he shared it was because my stream was about, doing your part in society as a revolutionist. The revolution is you. Everything you do in life and everything you don't do is your revolution every day. So it was a pretty cool broadcast, I would say. But Chris here on the stream is talking about how he's been here the whole time and helped him ease from his pain as he lays down in bed. So there it is. Like we I didn't know that Chris was officially there, but I spoke about him because that's how I feel, and I say it all the time behind his back. And in front of his face, not as much, which I should. So it's good to have him on stream to be able to hear that and stuff like that. And Chris, we have to talk about some other stuff in a second with the videos. I gotta check my phone here. Kind of put it down a couple minutes ago, right when I started streaming. Oh, Chris has messaged me also. Oh my. Yeah, I don't want to get into the text messages here, but Chris, man, hit me up. I'm gonna call you back in a couple minutes to see what's going down. So, Chris is an example of somebody who fights every day. He was a military soldier who is injured and has some things going on, and basically for him to be such a good fighter, it's inspiring. And then for him to be my backbone, it's twice inspiring. You know what I mean? I don't pretty much bother too many people about trying to help out. I'm willing to ask for help, and like I explained, it's very important that you do that. But you have to be real with the reality of it all. Some people tend to expect people to do the end of the world, and they can't. But with Chris, for example, he puts in his effort, and my repayment will be endless when I get the chance to fully pay this guy back. There's no way to pay somebody who does so many great things for you. But if there was a way, I'll be doing that forever. So I'm blessed with those type of people, and as I explained earlier talking about it, is if you put the effort in, people will believe in you and put in their effort also. So it takes trying and consistency, and I guarantee you'll end up getting somewhere in life. But you got to put in that effort so people can see that you want to try, and you got to ask who wants to help, who wants to be a part of this. And at first maybe there's 2 people, then it can be 20, and then 50, and then whatever, you know what I mean? And it's really all about making that move first, taking the steps. Don't sit here and wait. Oh, well, not right now, life ain't good right now. Life ain't ever gonna be good right now. You just gotta go for it. And me being somebody who does other things as well as this, I'm happy to share that story. And like I said, I haven't done, oh my god, this guy's incredible. I am incredible, but not because I'm a millionaire or because of some fictional parts that I would feed you. No, I'm incredible because I believe in myself, and I just do whatever I want regardless of the situation that I'm facing in my own life. I can get into so many stories, but anyway, that's pretty much the closure for today. I'm going to back out of this and just chill out. We're done for the night. Anybody has any questions about it? Anybody want to leave any comments about their dreams? Go for it. Probably later I'm gonna start playing a video game and do a E3 debriefing about E3. But yeah, man. So let's keep it rolling, man. One step at a time. Things are slowly progressing. we'll see you guys in the next board. I did forget to do my disclaimer in the beginning, and I want to repeat it one more time. It's very important to me that I say this to people. You know, if you're listening, watching, turn this off and hug somebody around you. Say something nice. Tell them you love them. Even if you don't know them, just tell them you love them. Make them think about it. Oh, that was sweet. That was weird, but it was sweet. This guy said he loved me. Maybe they'll think you're a creep if you're a guy. If you're a girl, guys will be like, yeah, she loves me. No, but in the end of it, I don't understand that. Like, how is it that if a girl says something like that, we won't think she's creepy? But if a guy does it, it's a double standard to a certain extent. There's so many double standards with this sexist world. But the moral of it is you get out there, make a friend, make someone smile, because you don't know how they're really feeling and what they're going through. So it's important to be there and be open and be true. So do that for yourself, because like I said before, you are the revolution. What you do or don't do makes the difference in the world around you, everyone in your area. But that's my message. I'm getting off. I'm leaving and I'm gone. Alrighty, well, it's been good. I'll catch everybody on the rebound. Thank you to anybody that came through. I'm going to be doing these, trying to do these 1 hour shows, maybe do like 40 minutes. I'm going to time myself next time. But like 40 minutes straight up talk, and then 20 minutes of discussion with the panels. And maybe I'll change the format, because I'm probably going to start off with questions, then get into my discussion. And that's probably what the goal is going to be. But I appreciate your support. More stuff coming soon. The gentleman, Chris, who was in the chat from YouTube, since I have so many different options for you to watch, he is working on a video that I can't say what it is, but you might be watching. There's an interview I did with somebody in the broadcasting world, and we might display that. So hopefully that goes well, and then we'll have more material and more content for you guys. So thank you very much. I'll see you guys soon. Do your thing. Take care. Peace. One love.